Hello and welcome. Today I want to ask the question, are you going to hell? In Acts 8, Philip was told by an angel to go to the south road and to look for a eunuch. He did. The eunuch comes by and Philip knows that he's studying the scripture, Isaiah to be particular. And that always jumped out at me because I was wondering, how did Philip know? Well, that's one of those little first century nuggets I like to dig out. You see, the eunuch was reading the scripture aloud. That was how you studied scripture in that day. You read it aloud. So Philip hears the eunuch reading the scripture, and the eunuch really doesn't understand what he's doing. So Philip says, "Hey, can I help you?" And the eunuch says, "Yeah, what does this mean?" Philip goes on to explain the gospel, the good news to the eunuch. The eunuch was baptized. The eunuch, of course, was the chief eunuch for Ethiopia. That's cool. But what's God trying to tell us? This is not just a side story in the Bible. Everything in the Bible is good for learning. I think that it sets a very good example for what we should do today. Whenever we see somebody trying to learn or struggling with something to understand what Jesus was teaching, if we know, no matter how little we may know, we should be willing to jump in and explain as best we can. Don't be afraid. God's going to give us the word. So that's what led me to ask, what are you doing? Me, whenever I hear someone asking questions, or I make myself available to be asked questions, and I think that's a very important part, I try to answer, and I try to teach, and I try to direct them to the right answer in the Bible.